would like to talk about books. Today I would like to talk about this book specifically, which is called Kaddish for an Unborn Child by Imre Kertész. It's about a writer and literary translator who goes on a creative writing retreat where he meets a philosopher who asks him if he has any children. That really gets to our narrator. The book's in first and second person, primarily first in his thoughts that evening, sometimes in second person to a child. It's a really great book. It takes place in one long stretch, and it seems like the sort of book that would be fairly fun to read in a single sitting. I really got attached to the characters, particularly the protagonist. The teacher was staggering toward me, a single issue of cold rations in his hand, and when he glimpses me on the stretcher, he quickly places it on my stomach. I'm about to say something, and it seems that astonishment must be written all over my face, because he, though already scurrying back, if they don't find him in his place, they will simply beat him to death. He says with clearly recognizable signs of indignation on his little face, already preparing for death. I didn't imagine for one moment. When I nagged them for a reason for their divorce, the answer, both my father's and my mother's, was always, because we didn't understand one another. How could that be? Both of them speak Hungarian, after all. I could see clearly that I was incapable of it, incapable of assimilating to the extant, the existing, to life. And despite that, I bawled, I am nevertheless extant. I exist, I live, but in such a way that I know I am incapable of it, in such a way that already in early childhood I could see clearly that if I were to assimilate, that would kill me sooner than if I did not assimilate, which actually would likewise kill me anyway. Connections, allusions in this book to other books, and in this case music. Not always music. And will not insolently slip through our fingers and string himself up before time as Stavrogin did. Stavrogin is a major character in Dostoevsky's The Demons or the Devils or the Possessed, and I will not attempt to say that in Russian. I am now in the habit of whistling only Gustav Mahler, nothing but Gustav Mahler, his Ninth Symphony. But I suppose this is quite beside the point, unless anyone should happen to be familiar with Mahler's Ninth Symphony, in which case they would be able to surmise from its mood, rightfully and with complete justice, my frame of mind, if they happened to be curious about it and were not willing to make do with the direct disclosures emanating from me, from which the necessary conclusions can likewise be drawn. Now that's an idea. I would like to try to whistle for you some of Mahler's Ninth Symphony. I'm going to stop trying to whistle Mahler's Ninth Symphony for you right now. That was harder than I pictured it being, but it was fun. I wonder if I'm going to get copyrighted on that. Oh well, it was worth it. You should try it. It's fun. You'll like it. As far as allusions to this book and other media, I'm afraid I haven't really encountered any yet. It's still relatively new. Mr. Kertész just won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 2002. I can make one up right now. This seems like the sort of book that Professor X might send to Eric Lenscher for his birthday. If that's the kind of book, this would totally be it. What higher praise can you give something?